You've gone through your Saturn return. I'm so curious what happened to you.
My Saturn return has honestly been the best year of my life. And this original creator mentioned she's 27 and feels it coming. 27 is, I think, the hardest age. I'm only 30, but I think 27 is the hardest age that I've been through. And astrologically, and when you're 27, you go through your Pluto sextile Pluto, which is a crazy intense transit. It lasts for about 3 years up until your Saturn return, but it usually peaks at 27 depending on your Pluto placement. The movements of Pluto, this is super nuanced. I have a class on it in my membership if you want to learn how to do this method and look up yours for yourself. 27, you also have your progressed lunar cycle come to a close, which is a big just ending of a cycle and closure of a chapter. And you also have your nodal opposition, which forces you to align with your destiny and really heal any past things that you've been dealing with. It really forces you to grow into yourself so that when Saturn comes around and does its return, you can really learn that lesson and step into the maturation period that Saturn return calls you into. I finally feel like an adult. I feel like the 20s were the worst part of my life so far. Like, they were just rough and chaos after chaos, heartbreak after heartbreak. Like, it was a lot of struggle and a lot of just not fun stuff. My Saturn return peaked back in March, and it's when I moved into my dream home, like furnished it all myself. I finally feel like I'm successful in my career and what I'm doing. I feel aligned with my purpose and like sharing my passions with the world in a way that like makes me money. I'm currently traveling through France right now. I'm in Paris. I've been on this side of the world for 2.5 months. Doing this and having the income to like support me in doing this is something my 20-year-old self would have dreamed of and never thought possible, because we were always living paycheck to paycheck. Nothing bad has happened to me during my Saturn return either. I think that's really like overplayed. As a professional astrologer, my perspective on Saturn return is that it really just wakes you up to yourself. It makes you come home to who you are and step more into your purpose if you haven't already been aligned with it. Like I kind of shared, for me personally, 27 was a year that really forced me to align with my purpose, and is the reason like I have been so successful, because of the things that I did back then that were so challenging in the moment, but the way I pivoted and directed that energy is what has built the life that I live now. And that's really what Saturn is too. Like, what are you building? How are you going to be disciplined and committed with what you want to build for yourself? And it will reward you, but it's long-term rewards. It's not instant gratification. There's no instant gratification with Saturn. And it's a lot of learning boundaries too. It's really like when you grow up is the best way I could describe it. It changes you. It changes you for the better. Then you suddenly realize why there's such that cliche about older men cheating with like girls in their 20s, because they're not fully adults. They're a little naive, and you really don't learn that until you're like 28, 29, 30, and you start to experience it and you grow into those boundary settings and you mature. It's the best way to say it. That's my 2 cents. For me personally, it's been great. Like I said, it's going to be different for everybody depending on what's going on in your chart. So how was yours? Where is yours in your chart? Post it in the comments.